Kicking things off today, hanging out in the Weather Center with meteorologist Jacob Dickey.
That's right. We've got a few great questions for you this afternoon, Jacob.
As opposed to the alternate when you don't have great questions.
Well, luckily we have some very inquisitive viewers out there. So let's start with number one. There was just another earthquake this week in Illinois. Do we normally get earthquakes?
Did you guys know about that earthquake?
When was it? I missed it.
It was Monday morning, actually, down by Mount Vernon. There was a weak earthquake down there. Now, nobody in our immediate area felt it, but you may remember in recent months, we've had earthquake in northern Illinois, up by LaSalle, Peru. We had one down towards Shelby and Fayette counties. So we've had them, and they do happen every so often. And the question is, well, is it normal? What's going to happen? Is the ground going to shake underneath me here? No, it's not. They do happen in Illinois. We've had them periodically. We've had them periodically here, too, since I've been here. One stands out. I remember one in Vermilion County that was southeast of Danville there. This was the one Monday morning, though. It was a 3.1 west of Mount Vernon. Now, where did it happen? If we look at a map of the fault lines in Illinois, you might be surprised to know there actually are a number of fault lines that are in place. So we might need to bring this full screen so we can see some of those lines on there. Those green lines are actually minor little fault lines that show up here across central Illinois, including right through Champaign County, and little I guess you'd say they're almost little zones that sometimes can shake and quake a little bit. Now, they are not significant by any means. You think of the big quakes that happen in California. That's not the case with these. They're very minor little stress lines, I guess we could say here. Heather probably knows about that. When we look here of interest, though, going further to the south, there actually is the Wabash Valley seismic zone there, down in the Wabash River Valley across southeastern Illinois and Kentucky. And a couple of those fault lines show up there west of Mount Vernon. That's where the one quake was there on Monday morning. Those lines continue up into Fayette and Shelby County. There was a quake there a few weeks ago. So they do happen, and they occasionally are something that we feel around here, but we don't get them like California does. It's not
no real danger of falling off into the ocean.
No, with these lines here, no. That's generally the ones across Illinois are very minor. Their upper limit usually is going to be about a 3.0 or so in that range. Now, the New Madrid fault, if you're familiar with that, that's down in the Boot Heel, Missouri. That actually is a fairly significant seismic zone, and there's been a lot of discussion with seismologists and people who study things down there that maybe one day there would be another major earthquake down there. Back in 1811, 1812, there was a series of major earthquakes that actually reversed the Mississippi River way back when. They were so strong. So
Ryan, being from California, did you ever experience an earthquake?
I've been through a few.
Oh.
You know, and you see them, like when they're getting up there in the higher numbers.
Yeah, you can see the ground.
I would walk and you'd start to see windows of buildings you were passing by go in and out.
Luckily, we didn't have that, though.
No, usually the quakes around here, if we've got something going on, it's usually going to be kind of a little, little rumble and... If you live really close to it, sometimes we've had some viewers say, whoa, what was that? But a lot of times, if you're not thinking about it, you miss it.
Okay, we need to talk Christmas, because the next question, Christmas is coming up. Will we have a white Christmas this year? We kind of talked about this last week with Adam, so I'm wondering if the answer has changed.
Well, you probably know about this map then here, Heather. Why don't you read this map for me, Heather? Put that on the screen. Can we do that?
I'm good.
Yeah, what's that say?
I'll let you do your job.
Well, you check over here. Come on, what's that say?
No, but in blue. Oh my gosh. So no, the answer is no.
Yeah, still no. We don't have any hope for that here. In fact, this is our Christmas Day forecast. We're heading for what we think will be low 50s out there for Christmas Day highs.
Rain showers?
And rain showers, yeah. There's nothing like let it rain, let it rain, let it rain. And, there's not even a song about Frosty because he doesn't exist this year.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. Apparently not.
Yeah. Now, interesting thing about that, I did pull a few stats out about some recent Christmases. Here's some numbers for the last 6 years, actually. Last year, you remember Christmas, we had a high of 16. Big-time cold blast right before Christmas. In fact, a few days before Christmas, our wind chill values were down in the 30 to 40 below zero range. Last year technically goes in the book as a white Christmas. There was just enough snow on the ground when we woke up from the prior days, but it didn't look pretty. It wasn't really that fun. There were some light rain showers in 2021. We were at 60. 2020 had a high of 19. 2019 had a high of 63. If you want to go through the last true white Christmas, we're going to go back to 2017 here. And, of course, many folks probably thinking, hey, what if I'm traveling? Good news is we've got an article on our website. Maybe you're traveling and you want to know, well, it's not going to snow, but will there be rain? Will I have to drive through that? We've got that on our website, WCIA.com.
Okay,
well,
very good.
I'm dreaming of a wet Christmas.
A wet Christmas, there it is.
All right, if you want to connect with Jacob and ask him a question for next time we do Ask Your Meteorologist, there's all the different ways you can connect with him, and we'll look forward to next visit.
Coming up.